This is Gloomy Sunday, and once again, I will be sharing spooky stories that will send shivers down your thorny spine. Without further ado, let's begin tonight's creepy, spooky, and sometimes outlandish array of tales. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. This happened last spring to a friend of mine. It was a Friday night, the night before my friend was about to throw his birthday party. Now keep that in mind. We were all just chilling at his house, casually drinking and doing a Korean barbecue. After we were done cooking and finished the drinks, they still wanted to do something, but we couldn't think of anything to do that was open late. So, one of the guys suggested that we all go to Lilydale for the heck of it. Now, for those people who don't know what Lilydale is located in Minnesota. It's known as one of the most haunted places where scary things would happen to you at night if you aren't careful or smart. OMG, I'm getting chills just writing this. Anyway, since the guys all agreed to it, us girls decided to tag along too since we were more of the sober ones. We ended up taking 2 cars that night. However, because everyone wanted to go and there were 11 of us, we forced his older sister to go. Now, the thing about going to Lilydale at night is, when you go there, you have to go in an even amount. Go even, come back even. Go odd, come back even. That's why we forced his older sister to go with us. So now there were 12 of us, meaning 6 people in each car. I was in the second car that followed our friend's car. Even as we were entering into Lilydale, I was already getting goosebumps. I kept holding onto my boyfriend's arm. I was really scared. Anyway, we followed the trail and for some apparent reason, my friend was driving really slow. We didn't want to call her to tell her to speed it up because we were thinking that maybe the ghosts would hear it. So as we made our way through Lilydale, we made small talk that would distract our minds from it. Throughout the whole ride, it felt like we were just going slower and slower, and I was not the only one who thought this. Everyone else in the car agreed. As we continued following our slow-driving friend, one of my friends in the car made a joke about how it would be funny if the car we were following wasn't our friend's car, and that it was the cop car. Another thing that's been told at Lilydale was that there's this cop who drove into the river that was right next to the little road we were taking. It's said that people have been pulled over by this cop and given a ticket, but when they go in to pay for their so-called ticket, they're always told that that officer died a long time ago. That was what my friend was jokingly talking about. We all got so scared that everyone in the back got closer to each other. Then all of a suddenly, my friend's car in front of us sped up super fast. Scared, we decided to speed up too. Finally, when we finished driving through the road, we saw our friend's car parked to the side of the road. We stopped right behind her, and everyone got out. My friend that was driving the car that I was in started complaining to my friend driving the other car about how slow he was driving. He had a confused look on his face and said that we drove super slow because he could barely see our car and our light was far from their view. My friend then said that that wasn't possible because we were right behind him the whole time, almost as if we were tailgating him. We knew something was definitely wrong. All of a sudden, the birthday boy pointed out that he saw something white back down on the road. It looked as if it was walking up the road. Scared, we all ran back to our cars and drove back to our friend's house. When we got back, it was around 3 in the morning. No one wanted to drive back home, so we all decided to just sleep over. So the next day was his big birthday party. Everyone didn't think too much about what happened the night before. We all kind of just brushed it aside. Later on, that night, his house was pretty packed, and everything was going good. Everyone was having a great time. I was hanging out with some of my girls when all of a sudden, I noticed this one girl who I never met before standing by the corner of where they were playing beer pong. She looked a little too young to be at a drinking party, but then again, looks are deceiving, right? Her hair was black and curled and she was wearing almost everything white. The only thing I didn't get was, it was springtime, yet she was wearing a white scarf. I kept looking at her but didn't pay much attention to her. Then the birthday boy made a small speech and was going to pour out shots of his drink. When he came to me, I guess he noticed that one girl standing in the corner too and asked me if I knew her, but I said no. Confused, he told me that that was weird because it seemed like no one knew her. He was planning to go hit on her, but he wasn't sure who she was. I was then just like for him to go ask her himself. I guess he did because then I saw them talking and enjoying themselves. After a while of them talking, he came back to me and told me that something smelled real bad when he was coming back to where we were, but I didn't smell anything. I did notice that he was wearing her scarf. I told him he was just drunk, but at the same time, he had this worried look on his face. I was going to go to where my boyfriend was when I suddenly noticed the same girl following my friend, the birthday boy, but she was super close to him. I don't think he noticed her at all. The party lasted until almost 2 a.m. that night. Everyone was leaving, and some of us stayed behind just to chill. However, we all noticed that same girl that no one knew. She seemed lost, but she was touching her phone. I asked her if she needed a ride home, and she said she was trying to get in touch with her sister. Curious, I asked her who she came with. At that moment, her phone rang and she picked up, ignoring my answer. I found that rude but didn't think much of it. It was almost 3 and she still didn't go home yet, so 2 of our friends decided to take her home. One of the girls went with them just in case. When they came back, the next thing my friend told me was what creeped me out the most. She told us that that girl lived near the cemetery by Dale St. She said that the whole time they were in the car, it seemed like it was hours until we got to her house. The odd thing was, she didn't want them to drop her off in front of the house, but a block away because apparently, her parents would see the car if she was to knock on the door. So they respected her decision, but slowly followed her just to make sure she got in safely. She then told us that a cat ran in front of the car and made them brake hard. By the time they were driving again, the girl was gone. On the way back, she said that they all smelled something rotten in the car. We all knew what each other was thinking, but no one wanted to say it. We all knew that something was weird about that girl that came, but no one wanted to say anything, so we didn't. Again, we brushed it off. The next day, my guy friend who slept over told us that our friend, the birthday boy, woke up scared as heck and told his mom of his dream. He told us that in his dream, the same girl who was wearing all white kept following him and kept trying to lick him, but he kept pushing her away. He said that the girl got mad, grabbed his hand and wouldn't let go. She kept telling him that he was hers now, and she wasn't going to let go no matter how hard he tried to pull away from her. Then he grabbed her scarf, but once he did, her head came off and started to chase him and bit his arm. He woke up with red marks on his arms and a bite mark. A few nights after that, he kept getting sat on. They had to Neeg to see what was going on, and they wanted all of us there. The shaman lady said that the night we went to Lilydale, something was following us back. She said that when the birthday boy pointed out that he saw something white down on the road, it was the girl, and because it was the birthday boy, she knew exactly where we were going to be, so she followed us there. The rotten smell was actually her smell, and the only reason why he had that dream was because he was playing with her scarf and had her scarf on him. They had to do this shaman thing to get her to leave him alone. They even had to change his name so she wouldn't know anymore. They had to go back to Lilydale and burn some paper. All of this, we had to attend as well. It was really creepy, and I still get the chills whenever I think about it. But now, after everything that's happened and being taken care of, things are okay again, and we never ever went to Lilydale or near the Dale Cemetery again. How creepy. It is good that nothing bad really happened to them. This is a lesson to remain vigilant and careful even when having fun. Hope you enjoyed our spooky and strange stories. Join us next time for more. Take care and boo-bye.